Well, here we are again, and this box is about $500 worth of suspension parts. But they are all factory stuff. All these bushings, all the spacers, all the bolts, all the nuts, all the washers. It's all getting put back to stock because the aftermarket stuff that you can get on Amazon is not the same. It looks similar, it kind of fits, does the job for a little bit, but it does not last. Now, I may get burned, these may last 3 hours like the other stuff. Who knows? But we're going to try it, because I can't believe that if this thing comes from the factory that you're going to have to change all these bushings and suspension parts if you grease it within 3 months. I mean, I'm talking, I probably put less than a couple of 100 miles on this thing in that time frame, and the ones that I put on it last year or earlier this year are junk. Floppy, floppy, floppy. And so what first thing I'm going to do is go through my little blown up exploded diagram here and mark the numbers on all of these bags so I know what goes where. Because I got everything. I got all these parts here for the A-arms attaching to the frame. I also got all these parts here for the A-arms attaching to the knuckle. I don't think those are that bad, but I figured, what the hell, I'm in there, we're going to do it. Because they don't get greased. And since I'm doing it, $40 more worth of parts is no different at this point. We're going to have it right, so we can at least start from that point and go. So, you don't need to watch me sort my parts, but that's what we're going to do now. Alright, so this is what the problem is. You can see that. These are a couple of 100 miles old and have been greased religiously. Same thing here. These are original from what I can tell. But you can see the movement down here, you know, with this. It's not supposed to be that floppy. So I'm going to probably start by pulling a couple of these off because they're fairly simple. Basically, you pull the pins and the A-arm should pop out, and then you can change all this stuff. But I don't believe that the aftermarket stuff wears like what you would expect from the factory parts. Now these are factory, they've got 5,000 miles on them, and they've never been greased because there aren't any zerks on these, and they're still in pretty good shape. There are zerks on those, they refuse to stay in good shape. So we're going to pop that off and see how that comes out. Okay. All the nuts and bolts are 15 millimeter. And right now, I'm going to see if I can drop this whole, I guess that answers that question. Lower A-arm out. There it is. So that's the lower A-arm. Here's our bushings and our pins in there. And all the grease tucked away in there. I have been definitely keeping it greasy. And these are the bushings and the pins up here. So I'm going to clean this up a little bit. Then try to get the top one without making too much of a bloody mess. Not quite sure what we're going to do there yet, but we're going to find out. Okay, so these pins come out pretty easy. That one's pretty nice. Now you can see, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a pretty good flat spot on that thing and some wear ridges. See right there on that rust? That's where the slop comes from. You can see right there? That thing is worn out. Now these don't come out quite as easy. Okay. Thinking I could just knock them out, but since we have replacements, we're going to attempt to pop them out. Yeah, these feel very rubbery still, even after 6 years and 5,000 miles. There we go. That's what they look like. Oh, okay, there's actually a step in that. Interesting. So you can't just run a punch through and knock them out. You got to kind of grab them from the end. I'm going to get a pair of pliers. See if it makes it any easier. Maybe we'll just do this. There it goes. And she's out. All right. And those are the lower end bushings. So I'm going to try to get a little wire brush, run it through there, and I'm going to lube it up really good, and pop the new ones in. All right, got that cleaned out and lubed within an inch of its life, and these new parts are a little snug. They don't just slide in. There we go. A little bit more schmoo. Cool. These are new parts for this. I didn't get quite enough of the nuts, but to be honest, I probably didn't have to order all new nylocks. And there you go. You can see the grooves on the worn one that are not on this new one. Both ends. So you probably worn down 30 thou on the radius, which is where the slop comes from. So let's see if we can get this inserted. Grease it up real good. Oh yeah, there she goes. Oh, perfect. Like a glove. And then the only thing left is to do the exact same thing with the smaller pieces. Knock all this garbage out, clean it, insert all the new ones, and then we can put it back on with our bolt and our washers through this. Then we're going to try to get the top. So I'm going to finish this one up, put it back in, get the top. Alright, so once you get all those loosely mounted again with your new hardware and your new bushings and your new everything, you can pull the top bolt out of this, and this comes free. So alright, maybe. Come on. There it goes. And then we can grab the bushings in the same manner. Maybe. There. Come on. Whew. These are sticky. They've been in there a while. These are definitely factory. So once you get all those out again, you clean it, do the same thing. Top's going to be the same way. Probably pull out both of those. This is already extended as far down as it goes, so it's not going anywhere. You'll have to do this in place unless you want to unbolt all of your suspension. It's not really necessary. You just want to clean it good, get your new parts in, get it lined back up, and snug her down. So that's what we're going to finish up. All right, so you may need to break loose the shock bolt to get to this one, because it wouldn't quite come out of there. But we got them all in, all cranked down, all the ones that can be greased. So I'm gonna throw the wheel on it, put it on the ground, jump up and down. Hopefully it's not binding too bad, and see what we got, because she doesn't move now. Hopefully that's how it's supposed to be. So put the wheel back on, we'll see what we got. Yep, she squatted down right where she was supposed to. Still got good smooth travel. It's not binding up. So I'm happy with that. That is what the suspension rebuild should be like. Of course, that's probably $120 worth of parts on just that corner. So this ain't cheap to do it. But if your stuff turns all junky, your wheels are just going to be flopping around. Now, you may not care because it's a beater, but I don't know. I like to keep mine in somewhat reasonable shape. So now I'm going to pop the other side off. Lather, rinse, repeat. Alright, so the back end is done. Everything is nice and tight. It moves nice and free. It's all greased up. Now the front end actually a little simpler than the back. You got just 2 sets of those pins, bushings, and spacers. And then underneath here you got a ball joint. We changed that a year ago. So the play in the steering isn't too bad, but that kind of crap is unacceptable. Because I think that's part of my death wobble. So these, again, it's all 15 millimeter. I'm going to bust those loose. That'll allow this to drop down, leave the ball joint intact. The spring is already all the way out. Oh, no kidding. Well, there's the lift kit in the front, right here. I hadn't even noticed that. I knew it had a lift in the front. I didn't realize it was just a spacer. And not a great one at that. So I can actually cut that down a little bit. And I do have 2 brand new shocks, well, not brand new, but used shocks that aren't blown that I got from eBay for 175 bucks for the pair, but it came with everything. Springs, all of the upper mounts, everything. So considering these are about 150 bucks a piece new, I think that's a pretty good deal. I may put those on, we'll see we'll see where we end up. But for right now, what I'm going to do, same thing as I did in the back, pull those pins, clean everything out, blow it apart, clean it good, put the new pieces in, crank it down, grease it up, and then I'm going to try to do a bit of an alignment on it. I actually have an alignment tool, but it doesn't go down low enough for these 12-inch wheels. So I have these ratty other wheels that came with it. I'm going to slip them on and put some, put some blocks under it, set it down, which will put the weight on the front end. And then I'm going to take some measurements and see if I can at least set it up where it's got a little bit of toe in rather than whatever it is now, because I don't even know. So we'll take some measurements all the way across that. We'll see if we can show you how that's going to work. First thing we do, lather, rinse, repeat. Pull the pins, clean everything, pull all the bushings and stuff out. New ones on, crank it down, get this fixed. Here we go. Like I said, these come out real easy. Just pop those 2 screws out, 2 bolts out, and it just falls away. Leave it sitting on the old ball joint, which is dry already. Again, it's non-greasable. Not much you can do with it. It doesn't have any play in it yet, so that's something I'll probably have to change every couple of years. But same thing as before. I'm going to pull everything out, clean it up, put it back together. All right, we got all of the bushings and the pins and everything else changed. The only thing that I don't have are the inserts for my steering, but I've got my other wheels on, and I got it sitting on the ground such that the suspension is loaded as much as it can be. Obviously, it's a little lower than it would be otherwise, but this is going to give me an idea of about how far whacked out this is. So we're going to go get a tape measure in this disaster. I Might as well get the good one. We'll get a tape measure. We're going to measure outside of the rim to outside of the rim. And we've got 54 and a little over half. Now I'm going to attempt to get that measurement in the back, which may be a little bit tougher because of the floor and everything else. And we're gonna, come on. Outside of the rim, outside of the rim, we have right at about 55. So I have 54 and a half, 55. I have a ½ inch of toe in right now, which is pretty significant. I don't think that's quite necessary. So again, the steering is a little bit wonky. We're gonna play with that for a second. It's pretty stable right now. So we got about a ½ inch of toe in, according to this. I want that to be a little bit less than that. Probably a 1/16 is probably enough when it's loaded. So we're going to crack these tie rods loose and tweak it a little bit, maybe a little bit on each side. Going to pull it in, going to push the back out, just pull the back in just a little bit and get rid of a little bit of this toe in. So again, we got 55 in the back and 54 and a half in the front. So that's a lot of toe in. I'm gonna go get some wrenches, crack those tie rods loose, play around with this, see if we can get it down to maybe an 1/8 inch or less of toe in. All right, so now we got it set up after tweaking the rods, which is a 22 millimeter wrench on this Super ATV heavy duty steering kit. We got it set up for about an 1/8 inch of toe in, which is a lot. But again, I don't know what it's supposed to be, and I think it's going to be better than a half. So now we're going to jack it back up, slap the wheels on it, and until my inserts come in for those steering ends, we are done.